So it's like a double whammy.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the benefit of taking the money out tax-free, and I'm getting the tax deduction on my 2025 tax return.
Welcome to another episode here at our podcast series from the warmth of Antigua. Oh, no, we're not.
We're not in Antigua.
But in here feels as warm
Mhm.
because it's, we're getting into the spring season. We have double-digit temperatures. How was your trip?
I got bitten all over the place in
Okay.
Antigua, but it was nice. I had a good time, and I drove on the wrong side of the road, so now I can
No.
drive in Guyana.
No. You drove on the right side of the road. That's always been the right side of the road.
All right.
So we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now, and I think it's also that season
Mhm.
to continue talking about it.
Mhm.
And that is buying your first home. We had a conversation with Hoang a couple of weeks ago, back to back, and then of course last week. We talked about some of the things that go into buying that first home, some of the things you look forward to. Now, what are some, or if there is any strategy
Mhm.
that we can use
Mhm.
in order to maximize our
Mhm.
chances of securing that first home that we want to buy in Canada?
Yeah. Well, number one is getting that down payment, right?
Okay.
So last week we talked about some strategies in terms of how to save
Mhm.
towards that down payment. So now that you've come up or you're thinking of coming up with the down payment, here's a program that we're going to really focus on today.
Mhm.
And that's the RRSP Home Buyers Plan, which basically lets you save from your own RRSP, withdraw the money tax free that goes towards buying your house.
Okay. So how do you set this up
Okay.
in terms of so you said it's a plan, you can put money into this, you can take the money out tax free. How do we get started then
Okay.
in opening a home buyer's
Well,
plan?
you
Or
know what?
do we have to open it?
You don't actually. This is just a regular RSP. So you just go to whatever financial institution that you deal with, open your RSP as you normally would, right? Similar to like a TFSA, right? So you're gonna need SIN number,
Okay.
and number one, you're gonna need to have RSP contribution rule. Unlike a TFSA, which you have that $7,000 limit, with the RSP, you have to have what is known as earned income,
Okay.
which basically means you were either working for someone or working for yourself. If you're not working at all or have never worked, then you're not going to be able to generate any RSP contribution.
So I want to mention, I want to stress a little bit there. You said earned income.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does that mean specifically to say earned income? Let's say I'm getting royalties from somebody,
Mm-hmm.
or I have a property or my spouse has a property that they own, they're renting, I'm getting a part of that rental income.
Mm-hmm.
Is that earned income?
Well, rental income is earned income,
okay.
but interest income that you get from your GICs,
Okay.
that you get from your bonds,
Mhm.
capital gains income, and dividend income that you get from corporation, that does not count towards earned income. Primarily, it is income derived from working for either someone or yourself. Rental income, when it comes to RSP, it's one of the rare passive investments that will generate earned income.
Okay. So this home buyer's plan, is it where I'm buying a second home, a first home, a third one, an investment property? What's going on there?
Be so
What can I
lucky
use?
if it's a third one. But yeah, it's the first time. You have to be a first time home buyer.
Okay.
And they will allow you to withdraw up to $60,000 from your own RRSP. But it's got to be your first, it's got to be
Has to be your first home.
first home.
Okay.
And that home, you have to live as your principal residence. So you cannot rent it out. It's got to be the place that you fall asleep at night, per se.
All right. So, and in terms of this home buyer's plan, you said I have to withdraw 60,000. I could withdraw up to 60,000, providing I have that. Now, and that is tax free.
That is correct.
So let's say I have a spouse. Can
Mhm.
they also withdraw 60,000?
So you could combine, but
Okay.
now the criteria is that neither you nor your spouse should have owned a home
Okay.
before. So it's got to be your first home. Now, I know we've got clients that are, international students or live all over the world. So if you had a home in, let's say, any part of
In
the
Guyana.
world in Guyana, that won't
doesn't
matter.
count.
It doesn't count. It's your first home in Canada, and you could withdraw up to $60,000, you and your spouse. Now,
Mhm.
if you're planning to get married
Okay.
and your spouse already owns a home or has owned a home in the last 5 years,
Okay.
then that will disqualify you and your spouse from being eligible for the RSP Home Buyers Plan. So take a timeout.
Yeah.
Don't get married yet.
Oh, yeah.
Withdraw the money out of your RRSP because you're not married yet. You're still single,
Mhm.
and now you will be able to withdraw up to $60,000 from your RRSP, but your wife will not because your
Right.
wife already owned a home.
So so you can't get married with, so if you know your spouse
Mhm.
has bought a principal residence, and let's say this is 2025,
Mhm.
and I took the money out of my RRSP,
Mhm.
home buyers plan,
Mhm.
and I get married next year to my spouse, and but my spouse has purchased a home. Do they take the money back?
No. So
No.
you're
At the
good because
time of
at the time
purchase.
of purchase,
Okay.
you weren't married
Okay.
and you were eligible for the home buyers plan.
Okay.
But your spouse was not, so she would not have been able to withdraw money from her RSP.
Okay. So I've done the withdrawal. I will take this money tax free.
Mhm.
Do I have to pay this money back?
Unfortunately, you have to pay it back,
Oh,
right?
okay.
But
So
it's
how?
spread out over
Okay.
15 years,
Oh, not 10.
right? Not 10. It's spread out over 15 years. And you don't have to make your first withdrawal until after 5 years
Ah.
after your first withdrawal. So, being in 2025, I withdraw
Mhm.
money from my RSP to go towards the purchase of my home. I
Mhm.
don't have to start making the repayment until 2030. So I've got a
Okay.
full 5 years before I could start making repayments.
So in terms of you, so we know this home buyers plan is an opportunity for you to make a down payment on your
Mhm.
first property
Mhm.
in Canada and take that money out tax free, have some time to pay it back.
Mhm.
Now, how do we get to that point, or what do we put towards our RSP that can be useful when that time comes to withdraw that money?
Now, because you're considering, taking the money out in a short period of time,
Mhm.
right? That's going to go towards the purchase of your home.
Mhm.
You don't want to be risky
Right.
in your RSP.
Right.
So if you have an RSP now that's really high risk, and we've seen the volatility right
Mhm.
now,
Mhm.
and you plan on taking that money out,
Yeah.
right? You probably want to lower your risk level. You probably want to gravitate towards a more conservative so
Mhm.
that when you withdraw the money, it will still be there. So
Yeah.
without the ups and downs of the market.
And also probably not buying anything that's not liquid in your RSP, or not even a segregated fund. I would not put that if I'm going to take the money out, because there are penalties if you do take your money out early for like segregated funds, I think.
Yeah, not really,
No,
but
yeah.
but depending on the fund that you open, there
Mhm.
could be like
Yeah.
there may be some fees
Mhm.
if you take it out, like a switching fee,
Right.
an early withdrawal fee. It
Mhm.
could be, but if you're with Tfteam, the
You.
funds that we provide, there are no fees. But
Oh, there you go.
one caveat is
Mhm.
that you could put money into the RSP right now,
Mhm.
right? And this you'll be able to take advantage of the deduction
Mhm.
on your tax return.
Uh-huh.
The money has to stay in the RSP for at least 90 days. So if I'm making
Okay.
a contribution right now, I leave it in the RSP for at least 90 days. And after 90 days,
Mhm.
I could take it out and use that money towards my down payment. And I could use the deduction
Mhm.
on next year's taxes. So it's like a double whammy.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the benefit of taking the money out tax-free, and I'm getting the tax deduction on my 2025 tax return.
So thinking about buying that first home in Canada, the home buyers plan is an opportunity for you to maximize in terms of your down payment.
Mhm.
And, um, this can also, I'm thinking about it, it can also be a useful tool if you use it alongside your
Mhm.
TFSA as well.
Exactly.
So because you can take out your money from TFSA tax-free.
Bang on. If you're planning,
Mhm.
this is a very good point, very good strategy. If you're planning on taking the money out for your first home, right? So you're 100% sure that you're buying a house this year,
Mhm.
then what I would do is take the money that you've accumulated in your TFSA,
Mhm.
transfer it or withdraw it,
Mhm.
and put it into an RRSP,
Mhm.
get the tax deduction, keep the money there for 90 days, and after 90 days, when you found that home, withdraw it, again, tax-free.
Mhm.
So the only issue is that you have to pay it back
That's
into an RSP, but it's spread out over 15
Yeah,
years. So
yeah.
if you're taking out $30,000, right, out of your RSP, divide 30 by 15, that means $2,000 every year
Yeah.
you have to put back into your RSP. You could put more,
Yeah.
but if you put less or put none at all, the amount that was not put in will be added to your income. So if I didn't put anything back into my RSP, then $2,000 in the last example I gave will be added to my income. Now, I don't know if that will be a big tax
Yeah,
burden,
yeah, yeah.
but at least you have the flexibility in such a way whereby if you don't have the money, the tax hit will not be as harsh as it could have been.
Okay, so is there anything else that we should know before we go on the home buyers plan and using that to buy our first home in Canada? Is there anything that we haven't touched on? Is there anything that you think we should know before we go, or
Oh,
should we just contact the team at TF?
well, do both. But
Okay.
here's another. You alluded to a great strategy
Mhm.
before with the TFSA.
Yeah.
Now, your principal residence, again, the house that you sleep in,
Mhm.
you could actually rent out the basement
Ah,
and live upstairs
Hmm.
and rent out the basement,
because you're still living there.
and you're still living there, so that will count as your first home, and the people living downstairs will help to pay for your mortgage. So
Is this why you're offering me to your basement?
that is correct.
Okay.
It's not because I care about you so much. Right?
It's for me to pay your mortgage.
No comment. It's because I love you so much, Josh. That's why we're offering you the basement. Not upstairs, but the basement.
All right. So thank you so much, Pierre. As always, we appreciate that, and we hope that we can get ourselves ready, start contributing, opening our RRSP,
Mm,
and of course, maybe your situation doesn't warrant an RRSP right now.
mm.
So that's why you need to talk to the team. Talk to the team here at TFT, and they will put together a strategy that can help you towards saving for that first home. And as we explore today, the HBP, which is the Home Buyers Plan, can be that opportunity for you. So like, subscribe, share. Thank you for being on today. And we hope that you join us in a future episode. Take care. Bye-bye for now.